Hello and welcome to Thoughts from the Green Room with your host, Jeff Mays. This week's topic, no halfway. As many of you know, I am an avid rock climber and I've been doing it for like 18 years or something like that. And recently I have been climbing with some less experienced individuals who are just starting out into the sport, trying to figure out how to do what it is that I do. And I must admit, it's exceptionally interesting watching people try and figure things out, and from my position, being able to offer them coaching on what to do and what not to do. It's pretty crazy watching that learning curve. Now, the one thing that I see consistently with new climbers is the ability to get up a wall at a basic level, but when they run into something challenging for themselves, something they don't understand, they stop. And they reach for the next possible rock and they sort of palm it like a cat playing with a string. Or they put their foot up on the next available rock that they think might help them and they sort of just tap it a little bit, but they don't really put any weight on it. My point is that in climbing, the primary aspect of the sport is moving yourself into a position and then standing up from that position to reach the next grouping of holds. And in order to do so, the skill that's necessary is that you actually have to put yourself in the position and then sit in it for a second, put all your weight on it, if you will, so that when you do stand up, you're solid in it. The same applies for the hands. When you grab the rock, you've got to put some weight on it, squeeze down a little bit so that you're supported lightly, and then as you stand up, use that as your leverage point. What I find interesting is that when you're first learning the sport, just about every hold is really challenging, whether it be for your feet or your hands. So watching these new friends of mine, these new climbers, do this, they're palming something going, oh, this doesn't feel right, and they're letting go right away before they give themselves the opportunity to put their weight on it. What they're doing is only going halfway through the motion. They're reaching for the rock, or they're putting their foot on a rock, they're touching it, getting a little feel for it, and then they're running away from it. The result is that they go back to the same position they started in where they were stuck, and they stand there unaware of what to do next. The only reason this is occurring is because they're going halfway with the exercise of putting your hand on the rock and putting your weight on it, putting your foot and weight on the rock. Now, I was thinking about that and translating that back out to myself as an actor, and thinking about a lack of professionalism is where it would come from for myself, but for whatever reason you can think of, about going only halfway with a character. Coming across a monologue that I didn't quite like, or maybe it was too challenging for me to get my grasp on, so rather than understanding it, just memorizing it so I could say the words. Or developing a character and thinking halfway through, I've kind of got this, I got a loose idea of what's going on, I'll wing the rest of the play and I'll just improv through some of the script that I kind of know here. These are pretty extreme examples, obviously, but they're examples of what would happen if I went halfway, and the result, of course, would be a shoddy character creation, would be a shoddy performance. And to that point, I was thinking that there's never an opportunity as an actor, at any rate, from my perspective, to go halfway. You have to give it all your all. You can't just half cry when you gotta cry. You've got to find that spot within the soul, open it up, dig into it, and let that emotion truly come out. I say that we can't go halfway because there are various tricks and things that actors can do to make it look like they're crying. But the disadvantage to that would be that the audience gets sold short. They don't get the full cathartic experience of seeing the raw emotion on stage. The reality is when the audience is there watching an actor, they feel what's happening. They relate to, they connect with. And if you're not going all the way, then you can't connect. And therefore the audience doesn't receive the full benefit and the actor's not doing his job. So actors, and I think everybody truly, can never go halfway. Now, I'm seeing all this through my experience from rock climbing, applying it to my acting, and now I'm turning it back to you out there to say, here's your challenge. Take a look at yourself over the week. Find or identify the spots where you may be going halfway. Stop going halfway. Do a full job, whatever it may be. There's your week's challenge. Those are your thoughts from the green room, and I will see you in 1 or 2 weeks.